Hi there, I'm Janet Alvarez, the editor-in-chief of Wisebread. Joining me today to share tips about how to get more out of fall and holiday travel are two industry experts, Bank of America Preferred Rewards executive John Sellers and Lee Abamonte, who is the youngest American to travel to every country in the world, plus the North and South Poles. So, gentlemen, let's dive right in and kick things off with our first questions with Lee and John. What has been your most rewarding fall and holiday travel experience to date, and what made it so rewarding? Lee, let's start with you.
Well, traveling to every country in the world, I've traveled all year, not just in the fall, so it's all rewarding, of course. Yeah. But if I had to choose a couple examples, I would probably say climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in the fall of 2006 for me was just spectacular and rewarding in so many ways. One, because I was able to go to East Africa and conquer one of the 7 summits, but two, it still sticks with me to this day, and that was also the trip that led to me wanting to visit every country in the world and actually making the effort to do so, because it was just such a spectacular trip. And a couple years later, actually 2 years in a row, I went down to Antarctica. And just a couple years ago, I reached the South Pole just before Christmas, which was the apex of my travel career, and still to this day, just the coolest thing I've ever done, literally, temperature-wise, and because it was awesome. And I had this big sign that said, "Merry Christmas from the South Pole," and I would say that's my forever Christmas card.
And John, I mean, it's hard to top that, but I'm sure
those are awesome experiences. And I think my travel is probably a little more conventional, but for me, you know, holiday travel especially is all about spending time with my family.
Right.
I have a kid in college, 2 in high school. It seems like the only time that we're all together is around the holidays, so that just makes it that much more important. Mm-hmm. Recently, we took the whole family to Holland. We were celebrating my wife's 50th birthday. Oh. We went to the Tulip Festival, went to the Van Gogh Museum, the Heineken Experience, which I highly recommend. So we just had a great trip and created memories that will last a lifetime, right? So we're already planning our next adventure for the Thanksgiving holiday. We're excited. We're going to go down to the Caribbean. I'm really excited because It's an all-inclusive, so it's going to help my wallet a little bit.
So those are pretty amazing stories. There are other ways that travel can be rewarding too, so let's talk about the financial rewards that you can enjoy from travel and the cash back that you can get from loyalty programs that can make trips more financially rewarding. I personally want to share that I became a Bank of America Preferred Rewards customer last year, and it has been a very gratifying experience thus far, from the additional boosts that you can get on cash back with spend on your credit card to specialty programs that the Preferred Rewards program offers. So let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, I found it really surprising that according to a recent Bank of America study, 2/3 of Americans don't have a strategy in place to maximize their financial rewards. I know. And having experienced those financial rewards over the past year from Bank of America Preferred Rewards program, I find that particularly amazing. So John, what are some of your tips for making fall and holiday travel more rewarding financially for travelers? How can they take advantage of rewards programs to make the most out of their travel?
Yeah, well, first, Janet and Lee, I want to thank both of you guys. I know you're Preferred Rewards members and loyal Bank of America customers. It's really important, as you mentioned, to have a rewards plan, right? And what's key to that plan is to layer all of your available reward options.
That's a fact.
Yep.
So first, start with the credit card. Most people understand that. Having a rewards credit card, hopefully one that matches up to your spending habits. Secondly, take advantage of these banking rewards programs like Preferred Rewards. And this is where our research tells us most people are missing out. They're leaving rewards on the table. Preferred Rewards members get a ton of discounts and rewards across their entire banking relationships, deposits, investments, mortgages, auto loans, exclusive offers and discounts. And then lastly, make sure you're taking advantage of all the other loyalty programs. So the airline, hotel, car rental, dining rewards. This way you can earn rewards multiple ways on single travel transactions. So Janet, for me, when I make a hotel transaction, for instance, I'm earning rewards at least 3 different ways. One, with my rewards credit card. Secondly, with Preferred Rewards, I'm earning a 75% bonus on top of that because I'm a Preferred Rewards member. Mm-hmm. And lastly, I usually travel with, I'm pretty loyal to Marriott. So I'm a member of their loyalty program, Bonvoy.
Isn't Bonvoy just the best word to say? Just Bonvoy. Bonvoy.
It is.
It's just fun to scream out, like yodeling.
So I'm taking advantage of those rewards so I can use for future stays with Marriott, right? So that's like the perfect trifecta of rewards layering. So if our viewers can kind of emulate that strategy, that's the way they're going to get the most rewards and save the most money.
Very well said.
So I love the idea of layering loyalty programs. I do that a lot, especially with dining. I eat out practically every day because I live in the heart of downtown Philadelphia. There are restaurants everywhere. So I like to layer my preferred rewards boost on top of my cash rewards credit card category of choice, which is typically dining.
Yep.
So I'm getting several percentages above the
Up to 5.25%.
Exactly, 5.25%.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I'm an Open Table loyalty rewards customer. So every time I dine out, I book through Open Table, and so I maximize my cash rewards, preferred rewards, and Open Table points all at the same time.
Boom.
Very smart.
On average, I'm saving something like 10 to 15% off dining out on a monthly basis. It's really amazing.
Awesome.
Lee, how about you? What are some of the strategies that you employ to maximize your financial rewards?
Well, first of all, those are both awesome strategies. And as John said, layering your rewards is so important. And the banking rewards is something that's new to me in the last few years, which I've loved. So as a Preferred Rewards member, and if you use your Premium Rewards Visa credit card, you can really maximize the return. And that's something that I've been doing in the last 2 or 3 years, in addition to earning, like you said, Bonvoy and every other hotel program and all the airline frequent flyer points, because that's really how I've done my travel over the past 20 years or so, is leveraging rewards, taking advantage of bonuses, and that's the best way and the fastest way to get free travel, which who doesn't like free travel?
Of course, of course. And listen, all of those benefits are really going to help me. I'm planning an upcoming trip to see my family in Colombia with my son. I'm planning a trip perhaps to Texas to see family. So I'm going to really seek to maximize the utility of all those rewards and all those loyalty programs when I plan my travel. And Lee, I mean, you're traveling all the time, and whether it's to see grandma and grandpa over a Thanksgiving break or to go to the Bahamas to beat the winter doldrums, what are your tips for evaluating which trip to take when? You know, what are your priorities for fall and holiday travel? How do you decide where you're going to go based not only on the season, but also on what sorts of rewards you can earn?
Sure. And getting out of the doldrums is priority number one for me, always. But it's about priorities. And for me, I like the warm weather, so I often prioritize going to warm weather destinations. I also prioritize things that I can get a bargain on. So if it's free airfare to somewhere distant in the world, whether it's Australia or South Africa or something like that, if I can get a first-class airfare for free based on the rewards that I've accumulated over the years, I'm going to probably do something like that. And again, if I can get a free fancy resort out in Maui, because that's the best time to go to Hawaii, I'll probably do that as well. So it's about prioritizing what you like. And for me, warm weather, tropical destinations, and maybe some golf.
That sounds about right. So let's talk a little bit more about savings and balancing that with splurging. John, you shared with me an analysis recently of over 50 million Bank of America credit and debit card customers, and it showed that on average people are spending about $2,300 a year on the regular travel that they undertake. What does that mean in terms of the potential rewards that they could be earning and what they're missing out on by not taking advantage of those rewards and through loyalty programs?
Absolutely. So the Bank of America Preferred Rewards program we've been talking about gives its members 75% bonus on the credit card.
Wow.
When you pair that with our Premium Rewards Visa, that $2,300 in yearly travel transactions turns to over 8,000 points, which is a lot of points for $2,300. And the great news is those points don't expire, right? And you can choose how you want to redeem those, whether it's cash, statement credits, whether you want to purchase travel, purchase gift cards. You can even use them for your Merrill investment account or your 529. So tons of value and tons of flexibility.
Those are serious points, and I'm sure those can go a really long way, and it's something I will probably be taking advantage of in the coming year when I have more travel opportunities. And really what's interesting is that's all based just on this regular travel spending that most Americans undertake every year anyhow. So it's
things you're spending money on anyway.
Right. There's no reason not to be taking advantage of it. So let's get back to fall and the holidays, though. Can you, Lee, tell me some of the specific things that travelers should keep in mind during this time of year? What should they be thinking of as they plan specifically for fall and holiday travel?
Well, fall, obviously, you have Thanksgiving and Christmas, and everybody wants to travel on those particular holidays. Let's take Thanksgiving. It's on a Thursday. Everyone wants to fly out after work on either Tuesday or Wednesday, which is the busiest travel day of the year. And airports are a madhouse. Flights are super expensive. Why not look into an alternative? Fly out Thursday morning, Thanksgiving morning. You can save up to 50% usually on flights. And instead of coming back on Sunday, maybe come back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, take a couple more days, visit your family, and save some money and hassle. Christmas, for instance, don't fly out on Christmas Eve. Don't fly out on the 23rd. Think about flying out on the 25th itself, and then maybe staying till after New Year's. Instead of coming back January 1st like most people do, come back on the 3rd or the 4th. Take a couple extra days. Remember, it goes toward vacation for next year.
Yeah.
And just enjoy wherever you are. And then, again, just me, I'm all about minimizing hassles and, of course, saving money.
Lee, I'm doing that too with my travel to the Caribbean. We booked our flights on Thanksgiving Day, and I think we saved at least 35-40%.
That's awesome.
And that goes a long way when you're buying 5 tickets.
That is true.
Absolutely. And so being flexible is super important and really rewarding, because often when you travel, you encounter things that are unexpected, and those unexpected things can cause you to change your plan. So, John, how do you handle the unexpected during travel? Can you tell me a little bit about any sort of unexpected experience you've had during travel and how you managed it?
Well, certainly the weather can put an unexpected damper on your travel plans.
Can't control the weather, unfortunately.
And for me, I've learned the hard way, right? So a couple years back, I went on a golf outing with my buddies to Myrtle Beach. We ran into some foul weather. I didn't have the right gear, and I know Lee can attest to having the right gear is super important.
Very important.
So I was stuck. I had to buy what I could. It wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't the price that I wanted to pay.
And the pro shop always destroys you on the price. Yeah.
Exactly. So for me, I had to pay more. A little bit of planning ahead of time would have went a long way. So it sounds simple, but plan ahead. Do your research. Think about backup plans that in case things don't go exactly the way you've planned. And speaking of unexpected things and backup plans, a great perk that Bank of America offers all its credit and debit card holders is a program called Museums on Us. Mm-hmm. And this program gives those card holders free admission the first full weekend of each month to over 225 of the nation's most popular museums. So it's a great thing to use when you're traveling or staying at home. It's a fun and affordable thing to do, and it's also a great backup plan.
That sounds like exactly the sort of outing that my son and I would enjoy. We're gonna look into that Museums on Us program right away. We're gonna take advantage of that. So I've heard that traveling on Tuesdays and Saturdays is often the cheapest way to travel during the week. Lee, is that something that you do? Do you plan out your itineraries based on, for example, the cheapest days of the week to travel? Can you tell us a little bit about how you use planning towards your itineraries in order to maximize your rewards, minimize expenses, and balance the two?
Sure. I don't necessarily plan to book on a certain day, but it is cheaper to fly on a Saturday as opposed to a Friday, or come back on a Tuesday or a Wednesday as opposed to coming back Sunday night or Monday. So yes, you can save a little bit of money that way. I'm always fortunate where I have a little bit of flexibility, so for me I can book on the days that are a little bit cheaper. Additionally, if you plan ahead, you will save money. So that's really the best advice. Sometimes the simplest advice is the best advice, whether it's layering your rewards or planning ahead to save money and just doing your research.
John, what else should travelers do as they plan for their trips?
Well, I would encourage our viewers, first of all, to talk to their banker, right, about qualifying for a banking rewards program like Preferred Rewards. As both of you guys know, it gives you a suite of benefits that are super helpful for travel, including that up to 75% bonus on your credit card, foreign currency exchange discount rates, free ATMs, priority service, just to name a few. But if there's one thing that I want all our viewers to take away, the most important thing is to make sure that they're layering all their reward options. So I talked about the example with the hotel transaction. Make sure you're using a rewards credit card that aligns with your spending habits. Take advantage of the banking loyalty programs like Preferred Rewards, which can even further boost your earnings, and then sign up for those other airline, hotel reward programs. That way you're going to get rewards on multiple ways on single travel transactions, and that's the way you're going to get the most rewards and save the most money.
Lee, you've had a lot of travel firsts. I mean, I think a few people have been to places for the first time as much as you have. And really, I think that's one of the greatest joys of travel, right, is getting to see some place for the first time. But it can also be a little intimidating or require a little extra planning. What are your tips for travelers who are going someplace for the first time? How can they plan? What can they do in advance to make it the most enjoyable experience possible?
Research, research, research. The most important thing about planning a trip, and you want to know what's on option for you. Basically, you want to know what's available in the destination, you want to know what your options are, and you want to have some wiggle room once you get there to be flexible, because sometimes when you get to a destination, you like it more than you thought you would, and you want to spend more time, or you like it less, and you'd like to move on to the next place. You don't want to be too rigid and have, at 2 o'clock I'm going to be doing this, at 4 o'clock I'm going to be doing this. You want to have the flexibility to be able to switch it up on the fly. And travel's more fun that way if you just do it on the fly, or at least have the option to. So I always tell people, do the research, know what you're getting into, but always be flexible.
Yeah, that combination of doing enough planning to ensure you've got your bases covered, but having the flexibility to allow that spontaneity, and I think is what really makes for a great trip. And joining banking rewards programs like Preferred Rewards allows you to experience everything so much more richly. It allows you to plan for the rewards you need in order to gain the financial benefits from your trip, but also provides you with additional benefits that can give you spontaneity, such as Museums on Us and the concierge benefits that allow you to enjoy your destination so much more. So, Lee, one other question. When you are thinking about fall and holiday travel destinations, how do you prioritize which you're choosing? Are you thinking more about specific activities or events, or are you thinking about sort of the rewards you can enjoy from that destination at that time? How do you make that decision?
Sure. A lot of times toward the end of the year, I've already requalified for airline status or hotel status, whatever it might be. So it's time to really enjoy my rewards. So a lot of times I'll look into where I can go. And I also do a lot of sports events. So for instance, I'm going to Japan in 2 weeks actually for the Rugby World Cup.
Very cool.
And I used miles to fly first class to Japan. And because I've already done all my qualifications for this year, so when is a better time to use your miles than at the end of the year before you have to start again to requalify early in the year. And again, I also like warm weather places, so I find that's the best time of the year to go to a place like Hawaii or down to the Caribbean, as he's doing, because why not get out of the cold if you can?
Well, look, this has been a most illuminating and enjoyable conversation, but we're going to leave it here for today. John Sellers, Leah Beaumonte, thank you very much for sharing your tips with us today. We hope these tips and strategies will help you to maximize your rewards earnings for fall and holiday travel season. On behalf of Bank of America, I'm Janet Alvarez. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next time.